don't have the money to spend on going to an expensive recording studio in order to get your next track or album recorded, well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to share how you can start recording music from home, even if you don't have a fancy home studio. Hey, I'm Reagan Ram with OrpheusAudioAcademy.com, helping you make better music and grow your fan base online. And the first thing you're going to need in order to start recording music from home is the necessary gear. Now, I'll link above here to a previous video I did where I walk through all the necessary gear that you need to have in order to start recording music. And so I'm not going to rehash all that here, but I'll just kind of briefly mention what you need. And so obviously you're going to need a digital audio workstation. So that's or a DAW, which is the software that you need to have in order to record your music into your computer and arrange your tracks. So you need that, number one. Number two, you're going to want some kind of audio interface so you can record your mic into your computer or your guitar or whatever instruments you're using. You're going to need an audio interface for that. And then number three, you need a microphone in order to record your voice or your instruments or whatever. Number four, you're going to need some headphones so that you can actually listen back to what it is you're recording. And then finally, you're going to need a few other miscellaneous things like a mic cable and a pop filter. So again, check out my video. I'll also link to it in the description below on all the different gear as well as gear recommendations for getting started. And this is all really cheap, as this video actually walks through how you can start recording music for less than $250. All right, now, second thing you're going to consider is room treatment. And so you might not have this in the budget, but you can do some things if you are, wanting to record from home without having to spend any money on acoustic treatment. So first off, what is acoustic treatment? Well, acoustic treatment is the process of treating your room so that you can control the acoustics so that it creates a nice environment for mixing or recording. So for example, if you're going to record vocals, you want a very dead space. You wouldn't want a lot of reverb. Now, that's not the case when you're mixing. You don't want it to be completely dead space, but you do want it to be called a very linear kind of response from your room, which means what you hear is what you get from your room, and your room isn't tricking your ears or adding in frequencies that aren't actually there. That's a very tricky and complicated process, and I don't really have the time to go into all that in this video, so that's why you probably want to just stick with the headphones and focus on mixing on headphones when you're getting started. But you can do a few things. If you have a really bad room, to help deaden it, you can put up some blankets or cushions on the walls, especially when recording. This is helpful to help deaden the room a little bit. And that's really all you can kind of do to get started, is just put up some cushions or blankets to help absorb that sound so it's not all bouncing around the room. And that's what I've done in my room. It doesn't look very nice, but it does in a pinch. Now, the third step to recording music from home is actually mastering the recording process. So this involves learning mic placement. So depending on what instrument you're recording, you're going to need to place the mic in different places to get different sounds that you want. But a basic one is vocals. Probably going to be recording vocals from home. What we want to do first is make sure that we are standing a good distance from the mic. A good measurement tool is to do the thing that surfers do, I guess, where you have your thumb on your nose and your pinky finger out, and that's how far away you want to be from the front of the mic or the pop filter, whatever you have.
What about if your hands are different sizes? Does that matter?
It's a rudimentary measurement. So that's about good. And then a lot of people, they'll have you sing directly into the mic, but it's good to have it be above the singer, because that will help cut down on plosives, the P and the B sound that isn't nice, and also sibilance as well, because you're not blowing air directly into the mic. And if you're recording with a condenser microphone like what this is, even though it's a cheap one, they're still very sensitive, so they're going to pick up a lot of different noises, and you're still singing right in front of it. I mean, it can pick up stuff in other rooms in your house, so you're still singing very close to it, so you don't need to be having it right at your mouth level. It's good to have it more like at eye level or nose level, something like that. So that's about where you have it, and then you're a good distance away. So that's the first step. So next thing you want to do is gain staging. So you want to make sure that you're not recording at too high of a level with your mic, because if you do that, that can lead to clipping where the loudest sound is actually getting cut off because the microphone can't handle it. And that is a sure sign of cheap or amateur recording. It's not going to sound good at all. It's going to sound all distorted and clipped. So make sure that when you're a singer, or if it's yourself that's recording, you want to do a test run first, sing at as loud or the highest volume that you're going to be singing when you do the actual take, and then just keep an eye on the volume level on the track that you're recording on, and make sure that it doesn't get too high. Make sure it stays out of that yellow, and especially not in the red range. Keep it green, keep it at a lower level, because you can always increase the volume later in the mix. Yeah, if you have a pop filter too, or I have this Electron PF8 that kind of encompasses the whole mic because I don't have any acoustic treatment in my room, so that really helps kind of cut down on all the reverb, because there's a lot of reverb in this room. It's a really horrible room, need to get it treated. And then also just having a great performer really helps.
Listen to the balloon clouds, no empire of sky can keep us down. Their lights us with their lies. Still not forget here at these heights.
All right, so after recording, kind of the final step to getting a pro level recording at home is denoising. And this really changed the game for me when I learned about denoising. And so what that does is it can kind of just help you eliminate any noises that are going to be in your recording that are, you're probably going to get from recording at home, whether that's air conditioning hum or just background noises or a car driving by. You can use tools to cut this out of your audio. Now, if you just got some basic kind of room noise you want to cut out, then you can use a tool like Wave's Z-Noise. That's a great one. And this can just really, it's crazy how big of a difference it is in cleaning up your recordings and making them sound a lot cleaner and a lot more professional. And so you could use that, but if you're going to be having trickier sounds that you need to cut out, then you might want to use a tool like Isotope's RX. And this is basically the best denoising tool out there, as it really shows you your sound, and you can surgically go in and find where the offending sound frequency is at any particular time and just cut it right out of your audio. Now, I'll have more tutorials on this channel on recording, denoising, and all the different steps involved with recordings from home. So if you want to be sure not to miss out on those, then be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Otherwise, after recording, the next step to producing professional quality radio ready songs is mixing. So I put together a free mixing checklist that you can grab below, and this kind of walks you through the order that you want to take your songs through when mixing, so you're not left wondering, hey, what do I do now when you're going through the mixing process. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and let me know in the comments below, what style or genre of music do you make? I'm curious to know. All right, have an awesome day, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.